Recorded by Eric, Head of Field Research. Log start. Entry 773. My eyes, they won't stop watering. The glare here is absolute. I've been standing on this sidewalk for maybe 10 minutes, trying to let my retinas adjust, but it's useless. Everything is overexposed, like a photograph left too long in the developer chemicals. I'm standing in the middle of a suburban cul-de-sac. It looks like a high-end development from the mid-90s, the kind of place where every lawn is manicured to the millimeter and every house is a pristine, white colonial. But there is a fundamental wrongness here that is vibrating in the back of my skull. I'm looking at the sky. It ISN and oppose, TA sky. It's a flat, featureless sheet of plastic blue. There are no clouds. No birds. No wind. And most importantly, there is no sun. The light doesn't come from a single point, it's pervasive. It's coming from everywhere at once, an omnidirectional, shadowless radiance that makes the world feel two-dimensional. I'm looking down at my feet. Scrape, shuffle. Nothing. There is no shadow beneath me. No dark shape to anchor me to the concrete. I feel like I'm floating, or like I've been poorly photoshopped into a postcard. It's a sickening sensation, a total loss of depth perception. The silence is just as aggressive as the light. It's not the quiet of a sleeping neighborhood, it's the silence of a vacuum. But then, I hear it. A rhythmic, mechanical cadence coming from the front yard of the house to my left. Click, 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 SHH. It's a lawn sprinkler. It's oscillating back and forth in a perfect arc click, click, SHH. I'm walking closer to it, my boots making a strange, brittle sound on the lawn. Crunch, snap, crunch. This ISN and oppose, T grass. It's polyethylene. Thousands of individual blades of green plastic, perfectly dust-free. And the sprinkler, it ISN and oppose, T spraying water. I can see the mist catching the light. It's a fine, crystalline white sand. A powder so light it hangs in the air like a fog before settling onto the plastic lawn. It smells like scorched silicon and ozone. I'm looking at the house now. 114 Clearview Lane. It's beautiful. 2 stories, black shutters, a pristine white front door with a brass knocker. But the windows, they're wrong. They aren't and oppose, T transparent. They're opaque, painted a flat, milky gray from the inside. They reflect the blue sky with such perfection that it looks like the house is empty, or perhaps, it's just a hollow shell. I'm reaching out to touch the siding. Tap, tap. It feels like cold ceramic. There's no wood grain, no imperfections. It's too smooth. Hiss, buzz, hiss. There's a hum coming from the pavement. A low-frequency vibration that I can feel in the soles of my boots. It sounds like a massive transformer buried miles underground. I just looked at my hands. God. My skin. I'm wearing a tan field jacket, but the color is shifting. The brown is becoming a dull, desaturated gray. I'm holding my hand up to my face. My knuckles, my fingernails, the pink is draining out of them. It's like the brightness of this place is absorbing my pigment, bleaching me to match the white houses. I can feel a faint, prickly heat on my arms, like a mild sunburn, but there's no sun to cause it. This place is feeding on the color. It's hungry for saturation. I need to get inside one of these houses. Maybe the interior is shielded from this glare. I'm walking up the porch steps of 114. Thud, thud, thud. The wood sounds hollow. Too hollow. Like I'm walking on a drum. I'm reaching for the brass knocker. Clang, clang. The sound echoes down the street, bouncing off the identical white facades. Clang, clang, clang. No one answers. Of course, no one answers. But as the echo dies down, I hear a sound from the other side of the door. Click, click, click. It's the same sound as the sprinkler. But it's coming from inside the hallway. Click, click. And then, the sound of something heavy dragging across a carpet. SHRRT, SHRRT. I'm turning the handle. It's not locked. The door is swinging open with a slow, heavy creak. Creak. The interior is just as bright as the exterior. There are no shadows in the hallway. The light is bleeding through the walls themselves. And standing at the end of the hall, near the kitchen entrance, is a figure. It's tall, wearing a bright red sweater, the only piece of color in this bleached world. But it's not moving. It's facing away from me. End quote, hello, end quote, my voice sounds flat, stripped of its resonance. The figure begins to turn. Slowly. Creak, snap. I can hear its joints popping like dry plastic. As it turns, I see that its face is a mirror. A perfect, circular mirror where the features should be. And in that mirror, I see myself. But I'm already white. I'm as white as the walls. Click, click, click. The figure raises a hand. It's holding a small, plastic spray bottle. It points it at me. I'm frozen. The spray bottle is leveled at my chest, and for a second, I can't even breathe. Pust, pust. The mist hits me. It's not water. It's a fine, freezing vapor that smells like industrial bleach and static electricity. It feels like 1,000 tiny needles made of ice hitting my skin. I'm stumbling back, my hands flying up to protect my eyes. Scuff, thud. I hit the doorframe. My jacket, where the mist landed, is already changing. The tan fabric is turning a stark, blinding white, not the white of a clean shirt, but the white of a blank screen. It's as if the texture itself is being erased. I look at the mirror face again. It's not just a mirror, it's a perfect, circular void that reflects the hallway with terrifying clarity. But in that reflection, I see my own face. My eyes are wider than I've ever seen them. My skin is the color of old parchment. I'm losing my features. My eyebrows are thinning into nothing. My lips are the same shade as my cheeks. I look like a sketch that someone is slowly rubbing out with an eraser. End quote, stay away from me, end quote, I whisper. My voice sounds like it's coming from the end of a long, plastic tube. Hollow, thin. The figure doesn't and oppose, move its feet. It just, slides. SHRRT. Its red sweater, that violent, singular spark of color, is starting to fade, too. The edges are turning pink, then white. It's as if the house is reclaiming the pigment. The figure raises the spray bottle again. Click, click. It's the same mechanical sound as the sprinkler outside. It's a maintenance cycle. This thing ISN and oppose, T an intruder, it and oppose, S the janitor of this nightmare. I'm turning. I'm running deeper into the house. Stomp, stomp, stomp. The hallway is a blur of white on white. I burst into the living room. It's a masterpiece of mid-century suburban design, perfectly staged. A white sofa. A white coffee table. A white television set with a gray screen. But there are no shadows under the furniture. The sofa looks like it's hovering an inch off the floor. The carpet is that same green plastic grass I saw outside, but it's shorter, softer. Squish, squish. I'm looking for a back door, a window, anything that ISN and oppose, a painted gray slab. I reach the kitchen. Clack, clatter. I accidentally knock a bowl off the counter. It hits the floor, but it doesn't and oppose, shatter. Thump, bounce. It's made of heavy, solid plastic. It's a prop. I look at the fruit bowl on the island. A bunch of, end quote. I'm spinning around, my back to the open refrigerator. Stumble. Standing in the kitchen doorway is another figure. This one ISN and oppos, T wearing a sweater. It's wearing my field jacket. It's wearing my boots. It has my height, my build. But where its head should be, there is a large, ornate picture frame. And inside the frame, there is a perfect, high-definition photograph of me. The and oppos, me and oppos, in the photo is smiling. It looks healthy. It has color. End quote, the light is just trying to help you, end quote, the frame man says. His mouth doesn't and oppos, T move because it's just a photograph, but the voice vibrates from the frame itself. Buzz, hum, end quote, saturation is a burden, Eric. It's heavy. It's messy. It decays. Here, we are permanent. We are a noon that never ends, end quote. He's walking toward me. Thud, thud. His footsteps are heavy, real. He's more solid than I am now. I look at my arm. It's almost translucent. I can see the white kitchen tiles through my bicep. I'm disappearing. End quote, I don and oppos, T. I don and oppos, T want to be a photograph, end quote, I stammer. I'm reaching into my jacket pocket, fumbling for my flare gun. Clink, rattle. My fingers are so numb I can barely feel the cold metal. The frame man reaches out. His hand is warm. It's the only warm thing I've felt in this place. It feels like real skin. He's stealing my heat. He's stealing my weight. Sizzle, hiss. Where he touches my shoulder, a puff of white sand rises from my jacket. End quote, Don and oppos, T worry, end quote, the photograph of me says, its smile never wavering. End quote, by sunset, you won and oppos, T even remember what and oppos, red and oppos, felt like, end quote. Click, click, click. The sprinkler in the hallway is getting closer. The first figure, the one in the bleached sweater, is standing right behind the frame man. They're cornering me against the open shaft of the refrigerator. I've got the flare gun. I'm pulling it out. My hand is so white it's almost invisible against the white handle of the weapon. I'm pointing it at the frame man's face. I'm pointing it at my own smiling image. End quote, there is no sunset here, end quote, I snarl. I pull the trigger. Kapow! The flare dozen and oppos, T come out as red. The moment it leaves the barrel, the shadowless light of the room strips the color away. It's just a ball of blinding, white magnesium. Fizz, hiss. It hits the frame man's face. Crack. The glass in the picture frame shatters. The sound is horrific. It's not just breaking glass, it's a scream of 1,000 birds being silenced at once. Shri. The figure collapses, not into a body, but into a heap of white, powdery sand and jagged shards of a photograph. The first figure, the mirror face, stops. It tilts its head. The mirror on its face reflects the white flare, creating a feedback loop of light that is so bright I have to scream. BZT. I'm jumping. I'm not running for the door. I'm turning around and throwing myself into the refrigerator. I'm falling into the dark shaft. Whoosh. I'm falling through a throat of cold, galvanized metal. Vrom, hiss, vrom. The wind is whistling past my ears, smelling of old ozone and the dry, choking scent of that white sand. I'm not hitting the sides, the shaft is wider than it looked from the top. The flickering yellow light from the walls is a blur, strobe, 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 as I plummet deeper into the foundations of this impossible neighborhood. I try to grab at something, anything, but my fingers just slip against the smooth, frozen surface of the duct. Whump, poof. I hit the bottom. Or rather, I hit a mountain of it. White sand. I'm buried up to my chest in the stuff. It's soft, like powdered bone, and it doesn't and oppose, feel like grit. It feels like nothing. It's weightless. I'm struggling to pull myself out, my lungs burning as I inhale a cloud of the fine dust. Cough, wheeze, cough. Every breath feels like I'm swallowing dry light. I'm standing up now, shaking the powder from my clothes. But as I brush my sleeves, I realize there's nothing to shake off. The sand hasn't and oppose, just landed on my jacket, it's merging with it. My field jacket is no longer tan. It's a flat, textureless white, the same color as the walls of the houses above. I look at my hands. God! I can see the floor through my palms. I can see the flickering yellow filaments of the industrial lights through my own flesh. My veins are gone. My pulse is a faint, rhythmic ghost in a body that's becoming a silhouette. I'm becoming a prop. A hollow shell for the suburb to fill. Thrum, thrum, thrum. The sound is deafening down here. I'm in a gargantuan subterranean chamber, a space so vast I can't see the far walls. Above me, the soil of the suburb is held up by a grid of massive, pulsating pistons. Clank, hiss, thud. Thousands of them, moving in a slow, mechanical dance to keep the plastic lawns level. And the pipes, there are millions of them, clear plastic tubes snaking across the ceiling, filled with that white sand, pumping it up to the sprinklers in a constant, silent flow. Sh. I'm walking toward the center of the chamber. Crunch, crunch. The floor is covered in discarded parts, I see a pile of white, featureless faces, masks that haven and oppose, been assigned a reflection yet. I see crates of hollow plastic fruit, all bleached white. And I see the chairs. Thousands of identical suburban kitchen chairs, stacked like bones in a catacomb. And the maintenance must be absolute, a voice booms. It's the frame man's voice, but it's coming from the pistons themselves. Clank clank clank, entropy is the enemy of the aesthetic, Eric. Color is the first sign of decay. We are merely preserving you, I look toward the source of the voice. There is a massive, central pillar of light. It's not a bulb. It's a lens. A lens the size of a house, pointing straight up toward the sky of the cul-de-sac. Inside the lens, I see 1,000 mirror faces standing in a circle, their spray bottles held aloft like scepters. They are refracting the light, stripping it of its spectrum, polishing it until it's the shadowless glare that feeds the neighborhood above. I'm approaching the lens. I have one flare left in my belt. My fingers are so transparent now that I can barely see them gripping the shell. Fumble, click. I'm loading it. If I can break that lens, if I can let a single shadow into this place, maybe the logic will collapse. Maybe the false noon will finally break into a real, dark night. You can and oppose, break a reflection, Eric, the voices whisper from the pipes. Hiss, whisper, hiss. A figure steps out from behind the pillar. It's not a mirror face. It's not the frame man. It's a woman. She's wearing a sundress, a bright, vibrant yellow that actually hurts to look at because it's the only real color left in my field of vision. She's holding a watering can. But as she gets closer, I see that she isn and oppose, walking. She's sliding. SHRT. Her feet are fused to a circular plastic base. It's almost lunchtime, honey, she says. Her face is a blank, beige oval, but her voice is a perfect, high-fidelity recording of a 1950s sitcom mother. Crackle, pop, I've made white bread sandwiches. Your favorite, She raises the watering can. Tip, splash. It's not sand this time. It's the black oil from the way station. It's the ink of the archive. I am the absence of color. I am the archived memory of a man who once knew what and quote, read and quote, felt like. Log end. Entry 773. Finalized. The saturation is 0. The maintenance is complete.